It's refreshing. Emmy hosts mocked Meghan and Harry as two royal clowns. Emmy Awards host Cedric the Entertainer mocks the fugitive royal Harry and Meghan when he appeared for this year's 2021 Emmys. Joking that Meghan and Harry's no-holds-barred chat with Oprah, he said, "Harry and Meghan obviously are nothing more than a running gag at the award show these days. Their lying chat to Oprah, which made them look ridiculous, is now reflecting on the true royal family, a nasty, evil pair who have a lot to answer for." Cedric couldn't resist poking fun at Oprah and said Oprah should have won a gong for her part in the Meghan and Harry interview. Every time Meghan lied, Oprah gave out a wow, and there was a wow after wow. Why not? She asked. Why not? One member of Meghan's mother's entire family was at the wedding. Not even a cousin as a bridesmaid or a page boy? No doubt Oprah was warned off asking, just as our journos are. The comedian had been running through the TV highlights of the past year and added, Harry and his wife have attacked the royal family for nearly 2 years now, both directly and through public statements and indirectly through leaks to the press and Scobie's book. They are to blame for this person's swipes at Harry's family. It's long past the time for the toxic twosome to be exiled and ordered not to use any of their titles, including the ridiculous Duke and Duchess titles that they use on everything. We would get their facts. Archie never gave up his right to the throne. He wouldn't even get a title until Charles or William become king. Baiting needs to stop, and it can't be one rule for one. Enough about the royal family members supposedly making claims about Archie. Meghan Markle and Harry have been proven to have lied about practically everything they've said, and it wouldn't be surprised if that's the total twaddle, or also that they and Harry have twisted into what was said. Indeed, the Cambridge children are titled identically as the Queen felt it more appropriate with them growing up in the same household. The Sussex children are not being raised in the same household as the current direct line of succession. And as great-grandchildren, like all of the other 7 non-Cambridge great-grandchildren, the Sussex children are not eligible for those titles currently. The Queen has been exceptionally long-lived. At the point of the last change, George V, it was unimaginable that the monarch would live to be nearly 100 years old. Given how average lifespans now, low 80s, Charles would typically have been king before either of his sons married or any of his grandchildren were born. Had Harry been born a girl, his offspring would not be princess or prince under the current rules either. See Princess Mary, Margaret, and Anne as examples. Certainly wasn't done as a personal affront to the Sussexes or anyone else. The celebs who know nothing about our royal family, or they would have known that Archie was never up for a title. It's nothing to do with that, but the royal family are cutting down on titles long before Archie came along. Princess Anne's children don't have titles, and she is more entitled to have them as Markle is. Princess Anne is the Queen's daughter, so before these idiots mouth off, maybe they should educate themselves on what they're talking about. But the comedian did not forget to mock the royal family, saying that this is the real royalty. Pretty lame and clearly a strategic monologue to try and shift public opinion behind Harry and Meghan. Ain't gonna happen. They live better than the royal family in the most decadent life imaginable, and yet they try to appear humble and the victims. Opportunists that entertainment industry is disgusting. Totally behind this to rebrand their new product of property of Harry and his master. And this is the real reason that they bailed on their royal duties and responsibilities, so they could make all their own millions, and then they will try to get back into the royal family. You mark my words. That door should be locked and chained. If they were the future king and queen consort, they would have never left. Harry left his country, he's betrayed his family, and once in about 5 to 10 years, he's going to wake up a broken man, and it will just be too late. Although he mentioned the Queen and Charles, most of the digs were directed at Harry and Meghan, saying the interview was the real tea. And when everyone knows by now, it was full of lies. This is what will define Harry and Meghan for the rest of their lives. As much as Harry and Meghan may want to renege on this comment made by Meghan, it will take precedence over anything they do or say. The comment is hearsay, without proof, but it is what people will think about when they think that Harry and Meghan. It's a negative, not a positive for them. I think Archie and his sister probably need the royal family more than the royal family need them. These poor children have been deliberately cut off from their 3 grandparents, their uncle, aunt, their cousins, their great uncles and great aunt, and their aunt and uncle in America. One day they might think of this as an unjust deprivation. I can most certainly understand why those denizens who inhabit La La Land are shocked to see the Sussexes being honored in this way. It is quite simple, really. You see those who harbor jealousy, envy, hatred, and bitterness towards someone who has absolutely no impact on their lives have a propensity for being delusional. This unfortunate condition makes them see, hear, believe, and fabricate things about the Sussexes that do not exist. What these inferior specimens of humanity seem unable to comprehend is that their views are not shared by those who do not reside in La La Land. They do not get that theirs is a small world built on the lies sold to them by their tabloid masters, lies that they did not have the intellectual ability to question. They are therefore under the false impression that they're speaking on behalf of people who exist in the real world, and when the people in the real world recognize the value that the Sussexes bring to the table, they are left dumbfounded. May I suggest expanding your horizons and venturing outside of the toxic hate bubble that you currently occupy? If you do this, you are sure to find that there is a big world out there, and a world with normal people who are not afflicted with your condition. Their bubble of perfection has burst. When A-listers start to laugh at you rather than with you, it's become the beginning of the end. Meghan will find the royal family is a millstone around her political neck. She will dump the chump, it's just a question of timing. One reason why the unaccomplished Markles are so not likable is that they've never renounced anything, but they're exploiting that royal title as their only asset to the fullest, with self-promoting charities and failed, grotesque, pretentious business and Netflix endeavors. I just read in another publication that Harry and Meghan opted to not attend in person. I was under the impression that they were not invited, as guests were limited and they were simply on the broadcast, not part of the producing or technical team, and this was Oprah's show. A few weeks ago, people wondered who she would bring as her guest, but my guess is she wants to distance herself from that disgraceful interview, so she stayed home, invited no one, and hopes the whole thing just fades away. Why? Because there were many flat-out lies in that interview, and I'm sure many other half-truths that cannot be proven. She did not ask the right questions to expose this. It was drama, not documentary. Just shows how naive and guidable some Americans are to the lies of Harry and Meghan and the way the royal institution works. It's a business queen ahead, and then the directors, managers, supervisors, etc. That's how you have to view it. The private side is the family. Meghan never got that. Rules, traditions, pecking order. You don't waltz into a job as an admin ass and expect to take the CEO's job. By paying $1.5 million to appear on the cover of Time magazine, a former serious publication, the Time magazine now experiences firsthand the unbridgeable credibility gap that exists between reality and perception when it comes to Harry and Meghan. And Time magazine's lack of judgment in printing that ridiculous picture on the cover will damage the magazine's reputation. Because the Markles are liars, so everything they do is viewed with distrust, suspicion, and outright disbelief. That will never change. So nothing Time magazine printed on the supporting story will be believed by anyone other than her cult followers and activists on the take. Conversely, Time magazine will be judged, as we all are, by the company they keep.